All right, everybody, this is Senai Zigita. We're here at Evolve All in Bailey's Crossroads with the owner and founder,
What's up?
Emerson. I guess to start, tell us a little bit about yourself and how we made it to this location.
Sure, yeah. I mean, our journey has been long. I started martial arts when I was 15. I trained at Taekwondo when I was little, became an instructor there. Like, I became an instructor 2 years after I started training. Like, I was into it. Karate Kid was like my thing, Ninja Turtles is it's just how I am, it's just what I like, it's just what I do. Anyway, so became an instructor, became the head instructor, did that for a long time. It was a traditional martial art, and I realized that traditional martial arts are not really where like my heart is. And the master and the way that school was set up, it just didn't allow for anything else, didn't allow for any growth. I'm all about growth. This is what I've realized later on in life. Like, I want to be able to grow and expand and be creative and like change things up from what it is. I understand why traditional stuff is important, but also things change and things grow. Exactly. So the combination of the two is kind of what we're doing here. Got my own spot way back in the day from White Birch Kung Fu. Have you ever heard about White Birch Kung Fu? It's the Kung Fu place that was on Columbia Pike next to what used to be Tippy's Taco. It's right behind K1 Beer and Wine.
Okay.
We were in the back down there. We subleased space.
What?
That was hard to get.
How long were y'all down there?
We were probably down there for 2.5 or 3 years. For a long time. I was trying to only work with teenagers.
What?
I thought that I was doing really good work with teens. Like, that was what I was focusing on. But I realized you can't sustain a business, or I couldn't at that moment sustain a business with just teenagers.
Exactly.
It wasn't any income, you know what I mean? I was doing good, but it's just very difficult to support yourself that way.
Especially in this area.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Anyway, so we went to all the elementary schools, and we started teaching out of the elementary schools. A bunch of them. So every day a week I would have a different elementary school.
What?
That's how we got all of the kids. So they would learn from me in the schools, and then they would want to sign up afterwards. We grew fast there, and then we moved to where Legend Kicks is now, which is, it was called the Creative Arts Center, because we started an after-school program. We did after-school pickup, did homework, and martial arts.
Whoa.
That was a good spot, and we grew fast there, mainly focused on martial arts and mainly focused on the kids.
So how did y'all get the word out? Did y'all market at all? Or
all
did
through
you,
the schools.
You just went to the schools and proposed it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. So how did that path eventually lead you to this location right here?
Yeah. Well, after we left the Creative Arts Center, I was like, we can support more now, because we wanted to have other things. We wanted to have an adult program. We wanted to have, we just wanted to be more full featured. You know what I mean? So we found a spot that I didn't know it, but it was going to be redeveloped shortly. So we got a good deal on the lease.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was only temporary.
Yeah. Well, we signed a 5-year lease. Anyway. So we moved there. That place was bigger. That's when we rebranded to Evolve All. We added yoga. We had fitness classes. We had a little gym and turf room. Then a martial arts mat. And an after school, a whole after school. It was big, like 8,000 square foot. It was gigantic, and it was amazing. We grew a ton there. We had a great time there. But then they told us that they're going to redevelop. So we all left. Food Star, everybody. And now we're here.
Nice. So who would you say was one of the first people that committed to this idea of starting up an independent gym and, really trying to take it to the next level?
Who committed to the idea of growing it?
Yeah, besides you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been the driver the whole time. I had a strong team of teenagers that came with me from the beginning that became instructors.
Oh, okay.
So they were a huge part of that. You know what I mean? They were the ones that were helping me teach the classes, helping me run the front. They were doing everything with me. So it was really those teenagers back then. We were part of a crew. It was the Creative Forms crew. Creative Forms? We would compete and do demonstrations and stuff.
And that was namely Taekwondo, or it was just...
No, it would be more considered sport karate. It incorporates tricking. Have you ever heard of tricking?
No, I can assume would it be the kind of like gymnastics type.
Gymnastics, breakdancing, martial arts put together.
So when did this location officially open up?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you think the community is receiving y'all?
It took us a while. You know what I mean? Because all of our relationships with the schools we no longer have here. And anytime, because we have those relationships over in, Columbia Pike Corridor, Barcroft, Long Branch, all of those schools in that area. But it's hard to develop those, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you have such a thick business, the business grew, and there's a lot more to do in the business. So
Exactly.
it's hard to reach back out and go back to your roots. So that was a challenge, you know what I mean? We just committed to, doing really good work, and slowly people started coming, you know what I mean? We lost a whole bunch of people. Like our student body shrunk within the first 6 months of getting here dramatically. Just because of the distance and because of these just few intersections and stuff over here.
Yeah, no, that makes all the difference.
It makes a big difference when you're coming 3-4 times a week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just it's hard.
Coming right out after school and whatnot too. That's what's up. So so you guys teach yoga, teach mixed martial arts, and you have adults and kids classes.
Yeah.
So what do you think makes you all unique? If someone were to be choosing amongst the different programs offered, I took a program at Bailey's Community Center for quite some time. Took ISKF. Why would somebody choose Evolve All apart from any other gym in the area?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but it's a community. You know what I mean? The vibe is very bright. It's very open. Like everybody's cool with everyone. That's the major, because we're focused on growth. We want to grow. However that may be, you know what I mean? If it's clearing your mind through yoga, if it's learning how to defend yourself, if it's just getting physically fit, that's the whole thing. So anything that involves that, like we just started a new club that's all focused on like the yo-yo and kendama and all of that stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something people want to do that is physical, active, movement, that it kind of works on the whole human. That's what we want to do, right? A lot of gyms do that though.
Yeah.
They have a lot of things, but ours is the community. It's a different vibe of the people that are in here. If you spend enough time, you'll feel it.
Oh, I already do.
Good.
Yeah, I saw the kids downstairs. They were playing chess, playing with the Beyblade, and this would be a rhetorical question because I've already trained martial arts, so I know the benefits. But to somebody who may be considering having a kid join the program, or maybe an adult that had some free time, what are some benefits apart from obviously being able to defend yourself that somebody would have or experience from doing this program?
We have social media nowadays. It's heavy. Everybody's on it, and it's going to take over the world. We know
Most
this.
definitely.
It's taking over. It's going to eat everything. But one thing that it can't eat is friendships and community and real-life interactions. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's a huge benefit. People are getting less and less of it. But here they get to come and then they interact with people one-on-one. They touch humans if they're wrestling or practicing martial arts. You know what I mean? The community is I think the biggest benefit. All the things that come with having good relationships with people. You know what I mean? Camaraderie, all of that. People to support you, people to hold you accountable.
Social skills. I see how the kids are really enjoying the program. And the one thing that I noticed, because when I took traditional martial arts, we didn't have music in the background. It was very old school, very Japanese, and that's one thing I noticed. The kids were all laughing, and you guys had some type of dubstep, like hip hop type music, and the kids loved it. They obviously love it and enjoy it. So, yeah, I really like what you guys are doing here. Who would you say was one of the greatest influences in your life as far as martial arts, or even getting to the point where you are in life in general? Right. It may not have to be related to martial arts, but what do you think was an influence in molding you to become who you are?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that really helped me get here. I mean, that group of teens was huge. You know what I mean? Having them kind of support, they wanted to be on the team, that was huge. To have people that thought that I could do something like this.
Exactly.
That was big back then. I was young, early 20s when I started. You know what I mean? So they gave me the confidence there. Grandmaster Myung Hak Kong, I have to shout out to him, regardless of our current situation. But he's in his mid-70s. He has a six-pack, full splits. You know what I mean? He was a big influence about how to stay training, how to stay healthy, and that you can do martial arts your whole life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And how to run a school. Super nice guy. I mean, my parents were huge. They let me do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They didn't force me to do anything. They encouraged me to go to college, but you know what I mean? They wanted me to explore what I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
They were huge. Right now I have an incredible team that's here. This team that is here right now, the guy that's working at the front desk, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he owned a gym. It was called Samson Elite.
That was in Arlington? Or?
It was in Springfield.
Springfield, okay.
But he closed that down and came and started working with us. He's an
Mm-hmm.
incredible teammate. We have these two yoga instructors that help out the studio a lot. Jen Everett and Sarah Zeller. They're incredible. I don't know if you've ever met them.
I don't think I've gotten an opportunity yet. But.
Jen was down there earlier. But, I mean, they're just, everybody's supportive. The instructors for the kids, they came up through the system.
Yeah.
They started out as, youngsters, and now they're, mid-20s and running the program. You know what I mean? It's just, there's a lot of people that you need in order to build a community. You know what I mean? My Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach, did I say something about him yet? I have to say something about him.
I don't think so yet.
That he's the the black belt under Renzo. Renzo Gracie in New York. If you know the Gracies.
I'm not familiar, honestly.
The Gracies are the ones that took over the world as far as martial arts. They are the ones that won. They helped create the original UFC 1.
Whoa.
They put it together with some other people, and then they won the first ones with Hoist.
Whoa.
Do you remember that? Did you watch any of that?
I watched it when it first came out, but I mean, I didn't follow it to that extent. No. Yeah.
Well, the Gracies were the ones that beat. I mean, there was big, muscular, huge dudes back then, and there was a skinny guy in a gi that won the whole thing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's the Gracie family. Renzo Gracie is part of that family. Caesar got his black belt directly from him, and Caesar is here, and he's given us all types of martial arts knowledge. There's a lot of people that are helping this place be dope.
I was actually surprised when I was younger and I first saw mixed martial arts on the television, and there was this whole debate on the news, all over the news. Is this going to be commonplace, or are they going to be able to televise it? And honestly, I trained martial arts 10 plus years, but I personally thought it was too violent.
It was in the beginning.
It was way too violent.
Teeth were flying out.
Yeah, elbows to the face, choking people out. Because that's completely contrary to what we learned in martial arts. It's just enough to subdue somebody or to, But I mean, it's definitely developing, and I see the fruits of that with Evolve All. So one thing I was real curious about, because different martial arts, you have the belt system. How do you develop a system of rank when you're starting your own version of martial arts?
The youth is our own version. The youth program, that's our own version. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and adult stuff, that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's an already established system. White, blue, purple, brown, black, and it takes forever, right?
Yeah.
That's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Ours, we modeled it, because we came from a traditional Taekwondo, so we took a lot from that as far as the structure and timing, and then input all of our techniques that we thought were a little bit more important. And it's easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You spend time and figure out what you want.
Exactly.
Think about what the progression is. At this rank, what should they be learning? What are the bases? What is the most important? Now they can move on to this if they've learned that. Now they've got that. It's pretty simple. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's what all martial arts have done over, forever. It's no different than what they do.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I was thinking about what you said earlier about how Taekwondo was so traditional. You wanted to expand, and I see it with what you guys are doing with the kids. When I took ISKF karate, it's a lot of stand-up striking, but one thing we didn't get much lessons on was the ground game. And I mean, and the funny thing was, my sensei would always say most fights go to the ground.
Yeah.
Yet we never really focus on that. So I do like what y'all are doing here. So what inspired you to incorporate yoga and massage?
This place grows organically. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going out and pulling yoga in. Like, yoga is here and people want to do it. Like, the people that are running it, Jen and Sarah, they both have kids in the program. You know what I mean? So they're a part of the program, and then they just want to be a part of it. Jen came to me one day and she's like, I really just want to be a part of this. How can I do it? So she started helping me with the finance part and the back end. You know what I mean? Sarah came in and she was like, can I run this yoga class just for the instructors? You know what I mean? Because she was doing her training, you know, because she was a mom. And we were like, oh, that was amazing, you know, and then we were like, well, do you want to lead a class for real? And she was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So all the programs are going like that.
Well,
it's just organically happening. We haven't reached out for any staff members or any programs.
Everybody's come to you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's going good right now.
Mm-hmm. So I see, obviously online, you guys have exceptional Google reviews, Yelp. Everyone has, you know, given y'all 5-star reviews.
We got 1 3-star or 1 star on Google from somebody in India who's never been here. It's just a whack review that took us from a 5 to a 4.9.
Was it a robot?
Shout out to whoever that was.
Was that a robot?
Some robot. They reviewed a Kroger's in India and like a Dunkin' Donuts in Nebraska, or something, you know, in us. Anyway.
Well, I think when you come into this this location, you're gonna realize it's all good energy. People that are here want to be here and they enjoy it.
It's true.
So, what I guess if people were to find you online, how would they be able to find you? Do you guys market on Instagram? Do you guys have a website?
We have an Instagram. We have a Facebook. We don't have a Snapchat. I can't give a Snapchat. I can't do it. But Instagram, Facebook. We have a website. Evolve All for all of them. It's just simple EVOLVEALL. That's it. And it's easy to find us if you search.
Excellent. All right. I guess last few questions. So. It's like we were talking about before with this climate, this political climate and police brutality. I saw on Instagram there's this guy, he goes by BJJ Cop, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Cop, and he emphasizes the need for police officers to train in martial arts. And he's serious. He's very nasty, and he's consistently posting different ways, you know, to detain somebody, to neutralize somebody. Do you think that if police departments in the area started focusing more so on that type of training, maybe jiu-jitsu, grappling, there would be less use of force that we see with tasering and shooting and stuff like that? Do you feel like people would be less inclined to use those measures if they knew how to safely detain somebody?
Now, yes, I do. Let me say that first. But I do think there's a big difference between, you know, the gun part of it and the shooting part of it, and then the actual just when there's no gun involved. Right? Those are different. If you get comfortable in physical altercations, you know what I mean, then I feel like you can be clearer minded and a little more calm, so you make more appropriate choices. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
If you've never been punched in the face, and you get punched in the face, all types of emotions well up. You get angry, you can't control it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't happen to everybody, but most people, if you get punched in the face or something like that, your adrenaline spikes, everything is crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're learning a martial art where you're putting yourself through those things in a way that is slowly building up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you can learn to stay calm in some really, really stressful positions and situations, you know what I mean? And also you have a little bit more confidence in yourself. Like, you know, if something went wrong, you feel as though you might be able to deal with that better.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it, you know?
Well, that's a good answer. Yeah, that's a good point, because, I mean, some of the stuff that I see, it's not about being pro or anti anything. It's just a matter of, you know, how can we ensure that the people that are out to protect our communities are able to do it safely, and also when they interact with people, people don't end up dead when they could have just been taken to the ground or something of that nature. So.
You gotta be careful though, man. Because people have weapons.
People do have weapons, that's right.
People have firearms.
People do have firearms.
You don't got much time to think there.
Yeah, exactly.
Being calm might not always be the best thing in those moments, you know. Anyway, that's a separate story.
Yeah, if your life is in danger, that's true. All right, so, well, I guess lastly, what's the future of Evolve?
Yeah, a lot. Well, we are in Falls Church right now. You know, our home is a few blocks away on Columbia Pike. We're working really hard to get back onto Columbia Pike. That's where our home is. That's where all of our people are.
Out in Arlington?
Yeah, just into South Arlington. I'm a South Arlington guy, born and raised in South Arlington. That's where I want my business to be. So I'm looking for a place that is long-term. You know what I mean? Long-term lease that we can really sit and then grow and, season that spot. You know what I mean? Because we've been moving around so much.
Yeah, but it's
so hard.
It'd be difficult. Any future ideas of incorporating anything that we may not see today?
Like other programs?
Yeah, breakdancing. You got maybe.
If it arises, yes.
Gymnastics.
Anything. You know what I mean? Anything that somebody, because what Evolve is doing is, yes, we are a martial arts school, we have yoga and etc., but we're also bringing people that are interested in doing something on their own, and like starting something, and then coaching them and developing a community around them. You know what I mean? Like our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, it's part of a big whole, but that's its own community as well. You know what I mean? So anybody that wants to come and do something that is in line with personal growth or growth in any way and community, then it's something that we want.
Excellent.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think, once you get your hands on different people, they may go from learning about Muay Thai. I see y'all do a little bit of Muay Thai, and then, learn how to stretch, how to do yoga, because, they're all interrelated in a lot of different ways, and I like the concept of Evolve All. The name is appropriate. When I first saw it, I didn't understand what it meant necessarily, but now I see y'all are incorporating a lot of different techniques, a lot of different disciplines, so.
Nice.
All right, well, appreciate you having us over here at Evolve All again in Bailey's Crossroads in Falls Church with Emerson. Thank you, guys.
How many times I told